Hello guys, how are you diddling? Casual Gamers here. While I'm on, I thought I could show you this game.
Irish Sea.
Isle of Man.
For the brave,
TT.
for the fearless, for the bold.
Ride on the
seeking
edge.
out their destiny. In the heart of every rider, her rhythm beats like a drum. The pulse of everything you trained for, of everything
The thrills.
you sacrificed and have become. And in the heart
spills.
of every fan, she draws you in, pounding at your soul, injecting life through your veins, a desire born to
And the
your
emotion.
blood. You have one focus, one passion, one goal.
Not forgetting the glory.
And finally, you are with her. The wait comes to an end. A legacy before you. Electricity in the silence. Anticipation echoes through the air. You are not alone here. A band of brothers, of sisters, of warriors and friends. Because this is living and this is life. She is everything you expected. And the call of the road is upon you.
Yeah, let me ride her.
Your spirit.
Let me ride her. All I want to do is ride her.
And your soul.
The emotion of
This is
it.
the moment you've been waiting for.
This.
This is your moment. This is the Isle of Man TT.
And this was my first major disappointment after buying the ps4. So you can imagine my disappointment after playing Tourist Trophy on the PS2, believe it or not, and really getting into that game. Now, for those of you who've played it on the PS2, you can imagine my disappointment when I loaded this up. What could have been, and I'll show you that now, what could have been. It could have been a lot more than it is, right? You got these really nice, clear graphics. Almost reminds me of a simulator. So first impressions there, quite good. You've got different tracks, you know. You can choose the track you want to kill yourself on, which is a nice touch. So many to choose from. Isle of Man. Hang on a bit. Tourist Trophy laps sections. Laps. Number of laps 1. Why does it have to be 1? Yeah, that's the one I want. So I'm going to change that actually. I'm going to leave it on 3 laps. Time of day, morning, noon and evening. I think we'll just leave it at morning, I think. Now, the bike. I mean, it's really well, the presentation's been done really well. So at this point I was really excited because at the time I was watching all these Isle of Man TT videos and I was really geared up. I was really looking forward to this. I thought it's got to be better than Tourist Trophy, if you know the way that technology has developed and these companies have changed. Super Sport, Super Bike, Super Sport, Super Bike. Now, got a few bikes to choose from here. I'll just go with my gut feeling, gut instinct, and I'll have a blast at. Let's have a blast with that one, the Kawasaki. Why not? The rider, well again, it doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. I'd rather ride as me. Do you know what I mean? Oh, controller vibrating there. So I saw early reviews on this, and I think it's still got its bugs. So what these companies do nowadays, they bring out a game as quick as possible, fill it with eye candy, and we are the mugs who invest in these things. We are the mugs who work for that money, and we are the mugs who part with that very same money to buy these games, right? So we've got some options up here. Do we need options? Controls? No, forget that. Forget that. Hey up, what's going on here? Is he telling me off? No, he's not. He's telling me. He's saying, hang on a minute. Off you go. So yeah, the emotion of it. You saw the intro, and off we go. Vibrations on the controller there. Now these lines are dynamic, so they're going to change, I hope. If we're going too fast, we're going to turn to red, I believe. I don't know this track, so bugger. Oh bloody hell. I almost lost it there. So we're getting along up on the curb, bugger. We're getting along at a fair old speed. There you go, red. As the lift. That's a nice touch. I like that. I like that. I like that. Don't like that. Right? So that's just a graze. No need to get the ambulance out just yet. I'm sure about weight shifting. If there's any weight shifting in this. And the views, of course. So it gets along at a fair old rate. It really does. The views. Can't remember how to change the views. Oh yeah, that's right. Alright, okay. So the views, that view there, which I was just wondering if I could, I always do this. Try and get the front end up, which is not happening. For some reason. I'm sure it does, it's just me. But it's not lifting. For some reason. Ah, my brake in there. I'm not sure about that. If I remember rightly it does, I don't know. Maybe I've got to turn some of the the riding aids off. Oh, bugger. I mean, it looks good enough, doesn't it? And the speed on it it's good. The sensation of speed. It's coming up just over 200 kilometers per hour. Can't take my eyes off the road at the moment. But the real game is in first person view. There you go. Got to be careful how you brake. Sorry. And I don't mind these learning curves. Do you know what I mean? I honestly don't. I think the even in that mode, I like that one. You don't want to get full on it right from the get-go because it's going to take some time. It responds really well. Mental. And I'm playing this and I'm thinking, well, this could be it. This could be it. And I don't know if I bought it when it was on special offer, so... but again, I played it back then. I just sort of booted it up and thought, well, you know, never went back to it since. I tried a couple of races which I found impossible. So again, like that motocross game, I've got to get into it. Trying to stick to the rules and regulations, not going off the track, but... And again, I can't actually take my eyes off it. Got to keep your speed up to get the rhythm with these games and flow through it. Not like car games where you've got four wheels. But I like the idea of it. And after playing Tourist Trophy for so long, and I had a real blast on that, I really got into that. Of course, looking back at these games, you think, really? Did I really play that? but it's still one of the greats, in my opinion, of course. So for those of you who played Tourist Trophy, and you actually got into the game, let me know your opinions on that. But there's something in the ingredients. You can't hide the fact that some of these older games were a lot better. A lot of them, in fact. And the graphics weren't as good, obviously. Does it feel exhilarating? Yeah, it does in a sense. Does in a sense. It sort of achieves that, yeah. Can't say that it doesn't. That's it, right, okay. That's fair enough, I lost control of the bike. Now, some people have mentioned the physics. And they said they're flying around. And all of a sudden, they're off the bike. Photorealistic, I'm not sure. I think there's a new ride game out. Well, it's not new, but it's for the PS5, I think. And that is ultra realistic, because I've seen that. I thought it was real until I saw it in motion. But this is, there's some nice vibrations there going through the controller, which sort of complement it in many ways, whereas other games don't. Shit, ditched it. Look at that, just roll over and die. So let me just see if I can get into the flow of it. We're still on the first lap, by the way, so you can get an idea of the length of it. Isle of Man. Again, it's a game that I'll never play online on the PS4 because I'm not going to invest in it in the subscription. Unfortunately, I play Warzone. That's enough, and I don't need anything to sort of play that. But if I can just get into the flow of this, I might end up liking it. Go easy. I want to take it to the limit, but it's really tempting. But get through these smoothly as possible. Make sure you're on the right side of the road as you go into the corner, at least. Then you can open her up. And I think I would be inclined to leave these lines on until I actually get used to it. There, when you smash my skull in. And that's all part of the fun. I will be turning some of these, because I've got some of the riding aids on, I think. But the best test, if you treat these things as if they were real, I don't know if it is classed as simulation, but if you treat it as though, imagine you're on this super powered bike and you were sort of, you're going to take baby steps first, you're not going to go too mad, just to the point where you can actually enjoy it, and you sort of make your own learning curve then. But if you just jump on it and expect to do miracles, then you're going to drop it. We've got to persevere with these things. Then what we tend to do is pick faults with them, right? Because that's part of being human. We criticise them and compare them. Above all, we compare them to other things, as I've just done. But this is, like there, you had the throttle halfway open. It sounds not bad. I'm not really sure what these bikes sound like on board. There, but you can hear it open. You can hear it open up. And I'm braking in places where I don't need to brake. But I'm getting along quite nicely for my first run. It's my first run. And I've got to learn the course first, so patience is a virtue. And easy on that throttle. Lift her up. Yeah. Keep out of the ditch if you can, that'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, get the flow sorted. When you get into the flow of things, it's alright. So it does actually feel good. But I have heard people complain, and they say it's unfair, because they're just riding around, and all of a sudden they're off their bike. I don't know if that's the case. I think it might be some kind of misconception, I don't know. I'll have to play it and see what the verdict is. But for the few minutes that I've been playing it, it's quite sort of challenging. And you want to open it up full blast. Let her go. Once I get into the flow of it, and I know every bend like the back of my hand, I'm sure I'll be clocking up some decent lap times. Yeah, it's just the smoothness. You got into that flow. If you don't get into the flow, you're not going to see anything. Overreacted there, I think. I overreacted. Try and take it around smoothly. There you go. So you can take the bike round the bend smoothly. There you go. So she goes. You've got the eyesight of a fighter jet pilot, I think, which I haven't got. I'll be off in a second. Oh, you bugger! Losing it. I'm all over the place. Another one bites the dust, and that's how you end up in the Isle of Man TT. The greatest show on earth. So, if we just look at the replay, resume, restart, leaderboards, options, main menu. So I'm not going to be able to say any replay. There's no replay option, so that's another thing that is a little bit disappointing, isn't it? Not to be able to see that. If I remember rightly, after you do a race, you get a replay of some type. If I remember rightly, but so there you have it. Isle of Man TT. Seems like a blast. So yeah. Anyway, we'll pull over here. Nearest pub, is that a pub? No, it's not. We'll pull over at the nearest pub, have a couple of pints, and then we'll give it some stick. That's the beauty of video games. You can actually, you can drink and ride or drink and drive without putting the general public at risk. Something you would never ever do. So yeah, quite an interesting one actually. Blistering pace. When you open her up, it really is blistering the speed. That's the first thing I noticed. Look at those flies on the visor there, the windshield there. So I'm just trying out different views. I'm not sure whether I could get used to that other view. Look behind you as well. That view there. That's quite a nice view, isn't it? I like that view as well, but I don't know if I could ever get used to it. Sensation of speed is completely different, but I don't know if I could get used to that. I might be able to. I've seen a lot of people play it with that view. Boom, there you go, off again. Look at that, bloody hell. Well, I think we're going to enough stick now. Is that really the first lap? You must be joking. That can't be right, surely. We've been round the clock a few times. We've been round it. Lap 1 of 3. Or is it just not counting the laps? Right, it's not counting the laps. Because I'm dropping a bollock every time I go around. So, yeah, it's time to go for a pint. If I can turn it around. Will it just face me back the right way? Right. So this place up here, some kind of lodge. Yeah, can't get to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to park the bike up here on the pavement. and I'm just going to walk up, have a quick pint, and I'll be giving it some more stick later. So, needless to say, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't, I know it's nothing personal. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye bye now.